The gift of loving kindness. Imagine if you had the power to set everything right. And if you did, what would that be? Save the planet? Reverse global warming? Clean the water and the air? Eradicate poverty? Provide education and food for everyone? Put an end to terrorism, religious fanaticism, and war? Abolish corruption and greed? Find a cure for AIDS? That would be a good start. Find peaceful solutions for the problems of racism, intolerance, and bigotry. Dignity for all human beings. Free Tibet and all other countries and people under siege. Imagine how incredible that would be. Equality for the sexes. Safe harbors for all children. An end to slave labor, forced prostitution, sexual aberrations, drug addiction, alcoholism, and violent crimes? Just thinking about it makes me feel giddy. The overwhelming nature of the task also makes me feel sad, angry, doubtful, numb. Yet, determined to act, no matter how small my contribution may be. One of the challenging ideas that I've come across in my quest for spiritual growth is this: if you want others to change, you must first change yourself. I love this challenge because it motivates me to self-responsibility and conscious action. If I want change, I have to get involved. I have to commit to making a personal, moral effort, to having a correct attitude of mind, and to making progress in what is right. This challenge calls forward the best in human nature, and by doing so, sets up the conditions for positive influence to emanate from good example. The logic behind this idea becomes very compelling when you grasp the cumulative effect that self-responsibility, conscious action, and positive influence can have on your personal life, your community, and your world. Imagine, one by one, setting in motion a wave of compassion, a gentle, adapting, and penetrating swell of loving kindness and positive action growing ever bigger. I first came across the concept of Maitri, or loving kindness, the translation of the Sanskrit word Maitri, in 1985 when I was doing my master's degree in dance therapy at Naropa Institute in Boulder, Colorado. This ancient Tibetan concept, to summarize in an overly simplistic fashion, reminds us that we need to act with loving kindness towards ourselves in order to manage the problems and neuroses created by the basic human drives of passion, ignorance, and aggression. Experiencing loving kindness towards yourself opens the door to acceptance and forgiveness, to overcoming shame and guilt, to releasing pain and fear, to freeing yourself of suffering so you can act with loving kindness towards others. Maitri changed my life and gradually set me free to have the courage to love, to be kind, and to care. Imagine. My wish for all of us is that we can bathe in the warm waters of loving kindness, and that the healing balm of loving kindness will embrace and envelop our deep selves, our families, our neighbors, our communities, and our troubled, off-kiltered world. I wish for us to cultivate gratitude and temperance, to grow in our understanding that through the small gesture of making positive change in ourselves, we are contributing to positive global change for our children's children and their children. In the words of John Lennon, imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
I hope someday you'll join us and the world will live as one.
I'm in. How about you? Month 3, week 4, the gift of loving kindness. In this week's coaching, we will talk about loving kindness,
motivation,
and then we will do the energy ball and the jigam dance. What is that? You wait and find out. So, the practice of loving kindness towards ourselves has the power to transform our lower vibrational feelings into higher ones. This reminds me of when I was pregnant with Anthony and I had a deep understanding of this. I was terribly nauseous for the first 5 months and I found myself on the couch often. And I decided to read the Bible. I come from a really non-religious family. And so I read the New Testament. And at one point I read Jesus' words, which were that God doesn't expect us to be perfect, that we can't be perfect. That what God expects of us is to learn from our mistakes. And that's when I had my aha moment. I am perfectly imperfect, not imperfectly perfect. And it was at that moment that I understood, when I shifted my perception to I'm perfectly imperfect, I feel hopeful. I feel that there's an opportunity for me to get better and to have success and to be my best self. But when I think I am imperfectly perfect, I feel like giving up even before I start. So to me, that's how this idea of being perfectly imperfect opens the door up for us to practice loving kindness towards ourselves.
Yes, I agree, Lisa, because loving kindness, it really helps us to raise our vibration up to, joy and love and peace.
Not only towards ourselves, but loving kindness towards others.
Exactly. So this brings us to our affirmation for this week. So exercise does as much for my mental health, as my mental state, as it does for my body. So if you don't mind, I'd like to share a little story of how this particular affirmation worked very well for me. And that when I was studying for my quantum coaching and my Master Neurolinguistic Programming and my leadership training, I made 17 trips to California and Phoenix, Arizona in 2.5 years. And in between my travels, I was studying for exams and fulfilling other criteria. And so it was exhausting. Mentally and physically, I was just totally exhausted. And there was times, that got really tough. And however, I really stayed up with my regular exercise classes with Lisa. Eleanor, you look exhausted. You should stop all that studying and traveling. And I said, well, I did make it through class that day, and I made through many more. So what I realized is that because I kept up the exercise on a regular basis and moving my body, it helped me to relieve stress and tension that had built up. And it also helped to connect my body and my brain. And so that really helped me to stay on track with what was really important to me, and that was following my passions and my dreams.
I'm glad you didn't give up.
Thank you. So keep up your exercise routine. So whatever routine you have, it will benefit you in more ways than you could ever imagine.
Yeah, and to help you accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish, getting that energy behind you. So the exercise really paid off in a big way, didn't it, for you?
Absolutely. That's why I keep up with my exercise routine every single day. Well, not maybe I missed, a day here and there, like on my calendar.
Oh, you're so human, Eleanor.
It's fun being human.
Let me guess. You're perfectly imperfect.
Exactly.
Now here's a good question. How do we stay motivated? In the beginning, we need to make a commitment and revisit it often. We need to find a good reason for making the effort, like find a benefit which is meaningful enough to support making an effort. But as time goes by, your efforts give you energy and feelings of well-being. This energy and simply feeling good support or even inspire your motivation. Your first thing in the morning routine gives you energy and structure so you can be more balanced, focused, and productive. Lemon water prepares your machine, your physical body. It's an internal process. Meditation prepares your mind, relaxes your nervous system, calms your emotions, and aligns your being with your doing. Physical activity, especially done out of doors or even more so in nature, energizes you so you can go out and do what you want and live your life more positively.
Yes, and if you want change, you must change yourself first, which reminds me of Mother Teresa, a quote that she said, "Be the change you want to see in the world."
I love this challenge because it motivates me to self-responsibility and conscious action.
Yes, and what I've realized is that if I want to change, that means I have to get involved. And I have to commit to making a personal effort and to having, a correct attitude of mind, and to making the progress, that's right for me.
Making progress in what is right.
So imagine if everyone in the world made a positive choice for themselves. Every day, what a profound shift in consciousness, that would bring about.
Now that's a win-win proposition for ourselves and for our world.
So by participating in this coaching program, you are already participating in making a profound change and contributing to creating a better world. So thank you for your commitment to yourself and to the world.
Thank you for your commitment to yourself and to our world. So today we're going to move together and we're going to do the energy ball and the Qigong dance. So today Eleanor is going to lead us through the energy ball and Qigong dance. Qigong means without thoughts and emotions.
So raise your palms together and briskly rub your palms so that you feel the heat building up in your palms. So when you feel the heat building up really nicely, close your eyes and place your palms in front of your chest and feel the energy between your palms. It will feel like a tingling or a warmth. And then you can gradually pull your palms apart and feel the energy ball. You can feel the heat. And then you can just play with the energy ball.
It feels almost like there's a little pulling, like chewing gum or something, between the hands when you pull them apart.
Yes, and you may feel some heat. And if you're not feeling anything at all, just go back and feel the energy. Now what I'd like you to do is just relax your body and take that energy ball, and we're going to go into the Qigong dance. And that's just following your own natural body's rhythm. And just let your body flow like you're flowing in the ocean, you're seaweed flowing in the ocean. Or you're the willow tree blowing in the breeze. And you're just so relaxed and you're so free. And just keep following your own natural rhythm. Just enjoy your body's movement. And feel the energy that's so beautifully around you. And just notice the gentleness of the breeze, the flowing of the water around you, and how relaxing that is. And just relax into it. And then you can just slowly stop. Just rest your hands on your knees.
Take a couple of deep breaths. And then you can slowly open your eyes. And thank you very much. See you soon. I hope you feel great.